Okay, I'm just going to check that it's let me go live now, because I've just been having a few technical issues. Bear with me for one moment. Okay. Okay, so it looks as though I'm live, so I shall just turn the camera around. Hello, I was having some technical issues going live in my page, so I've had to go live as myself today. Okay, today's crafting has been sort of a bit all over the place. Got kids at home and they want to go places and do things, so it's messed me about a bit. We're meant to have the dentist this morning. They cancelled, so I could have gone live this morning instead. But anyway, we're here. So I can see there's a couple of people. Hello Helen, hello Maxine. Hope you're both well. Right, I'm going to turn the camera around because we're just going to get on with the crafting, and it's a starburst card that I'm going to show you, so just bear with me one moment. Okay, so as you can see, I've got the card here that I've made. We did this in my card classes through October, so it's been sat around a while waiting to be able to do a blog post on it and a video. But as you can see, it's using lots of gold, and it's really pretty, I think. So I'm going to show you how to make that today. Okay, so the first things that we need is the card base. This is in Night of Navy, and it's 11.5 inches by 4 inches, scored down the middle at 5 3/4 inches. In centimetres, that's 29.2 centimetres by 10.1, and it's scored at 14.6 centimetres. Okay, then we need 2 vanilla layers, one for inside and one as a layer on the outside. They're both the same size, so they would be 3 3/4 inches by 5.5, or 9.6 centimetres by 14 centimetres. And then the gold layer, and that is 3.5 inches by 5 1/4, or 8.9 centimetres by 13.4 centimetres. Okay, so we can pop those out the way for a moment because we don't need those just yet. What we do need to have is some contrasting DSP. Now I've already pre-cut a load of these, so because you don't want to be sat there while I'm cutting them all up, but I will go through what we do with them. This is longer than the gold bit. It doesn't have to be this long, it could just as long as it hangs over each end, but I'm going to go with this. So we cut straight strips first of all, randomly, sort of between like 3/4 of an inch and 1.5 inches. So you need to cut a few of those, probably, so you've got 6 of each, maybe. You just check 1 2 3 4 5 6. Yeah, so as long as you've got 6 of each, you might want a couple of spare. So it's only like 3 of each, strips like this, and then you're going to go point to point just lining those up in the groove. And because it's designer series paper, it's better to start in the middle so that you don't skag it. So I'm just going to drop that down and go down and up. So then you end up with two pointy bits. Okay, so I've got quite a few already cut of both sorts. So I'm going to just move the trimmer out the way and bring in my silicone mat. If you don't have one of these, then a piece of plastic, maybe out of a stamp case, the plastic window sheet sort of stuff would work just as well. And I'm going to place my gold layer on top, and then I'm just going to quickly measure approximately halfway, and I'm just going to use the point of this. I don't know if you can see that, maybe not quite. Just going to literally put a little mark as close to halfway as I can get it. Okay, so then you need to choose which one you want first and place that down. Okay, and then you're going to alternate them with the other colours, or the other colour in this case, leaving a slight gap, probably about 1/8 of an inch in the middle. And as you can see, they're different widths, so they give a slightly different feel to it than if they were all uniform sizes. Okay, so you can either carry on and place them all down first of all, or you can just carry on and start sticking. So as I've made this a few times, I am going to start sticking. And I'm going to stick the middle one down first. I'm not going to glue right to the edges because I know it's going to overhang, and I would prefer to not get too sticky. So it doesn't matter which side of that line you go. A bit too much glue on there. And then just carry on putting the other layers on. It doesn't take too long to build up. This is Shining Brightly Speciality DSP, which is one of my favourites. I was lucky enough I actually managed to get some extra before it sold out, but I think it's back in stock again now. So, and obviously today is the last day of the really fantastic joining offer that's going on Stampin' Up at the moment. 35 years being in business, and as you will have seen from my posts, you can join up and basically have £130 worth of goods for £64 something, not quite £65. These little bits, you will just need a little bit on the end. Or you can have 35% more and choose £170 worth. So I'm doing it from memory. So £170 worth of goods for £99. Okay, so you just need to carry on building this up. It's nearly done. As you can see, the gold just pokes through in between, and I always find when I'm doing cards like this with other crafters, they're sort of don't really get the actual effect until they've cut the excess off, and then it's looks quite different. So that one, move that in a little bit, and then the last one. Glue's running out. Okay, so it's on a silicone mat because obviously there is glue overlapping the gold. So instead of having it on paper and it's sticking to the paper, it'll peel off of the silicone mat easily. So I'm just going to pop that to one side for a moment while it dries off a little bit. And for the sentiment on this one, I'm using the Stars at Night stamp set, and it's this one here. I thought it went really, really nicely at the bottom of the card. And this is the matching die. So I've got the stamp out. Just pop the die safe so that I don't lose it. And here's my bit of blue. So first of all, because I'm heat embossing and I don't want the card to be static and get the powder stuck everywhere, I'm just going to rub it over with a little embossing buddy. And now I'm going to use Versamark to stamp the sentiment. Okay, and as you can see the where the Versamark is. So before that dries, I'm just going to put a load of gold powder over the top. If you haven't got one of these little embossing buddy kits, I would recommend it. You've got a little brush so you can either brush off of your cardstock or brush the powder down. And you've got a little pair of tweezers so that you can hold your cardstock. If you haven't got excess, you can hold it, so save your fingers from getting burnt. Okay, so the heat gun, I'm going to go straight on to setting 2, and just bear with me a moment while we do this because it gets a bit noisy. But we'll start to melts. There you go, you can see it. Should be able to see it changing as the heat melts the powder. Okay, so let me just pop some of these bits out of the way and bring in my mini cut and emboss for this one. Just got to remember where I've put the plates. Okay, so here they are. I'm going to pop the cardstock on. You can't really see what I'm doing from there, but I don't want to squash that. But anyway, you should you probably know how to use a cut and emboss machine. Just going to feed that through. And don't worry if they make that noise, it's just where it's going through and then the rollers release. Nothing's broken at all. Okay, so there's our sentiment. Pop this out the way. And while I've got the stamp set out, I'm going to just do the inside layer of my card, which I just did a Merry Christmas and then a bit of stars. So again, it's Night of Navy, so that it all ties in nicely. And as you can see, you can tell the ones that I've used the most, they've all gone in funny colours. Merry Christmas and this set of stars. Just get a couple of blocks. Okay, now my Night of Navy is quite juicy, so I'm not going to stamp too hard. There. So it's a really nice, clear Merry Christmas, this one. So it's one of my favourites, and the other images are really good as well, so I really like that. Right, so we'll pop those up there out the way. Now this should have dried, so I'm going to bring it back in and peel it off. Right, just flip it over. And then I'm just going to trim off all of the excess bits. And I wouldn't worry about getting glue on your scissors or the embossing, the silicone mat, because you can use alcohol, the alcohol rub and a bit of cotton wool, and it will get it all off. Just is a bit sticky when you're just trying to cut it all down. But as you see, it starts looking very different. as you trim it up. This card would work with any DSP really. It doesn't have to be shiny. You know, it doesn't have to be the Speciality ones at all. It can be just some nice coordinating patterned paper. You could put silver at the background, or you could do, you know, a similar sort of card with just cardstock at the background, so it doesn't have to have all of the bling. But as this is Christmas and this is, see, gold in there, I thought we'll have a bit of bling. Okay, so that's the front bit, and that's just going to layer onto the white, sorry, the vanilla. I just need to trim that little bit there off. Okay, so just going to layer that up. Again, it's got about 1/8 of an inch. Running around the outside. This bit I'm going to use some dimensionals. These are black ones, so they won't stand out when you've got it against the lighter colour. Okay, and I'm just literally going to pop that in the middle. Then on card base, I did find my bone folder the other day. Normally I end up using my nails, but there we go, I've got the bone folder out and I've used that now. And I'm going to pop the middle bit in first. Again, it all just has about 1/8 of an inch border. And then the front layer. And that's it. So it doesn't take too long to make. Get a bit gluey, but it's fine. You can wash your hands and everything off. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed seeing how that card was made, and maybe have a go. And you can always upload photos onto my Facebook groups and page, so that's great. Right, thanks for joining me. Take care. Bye.